Hello everyone, I know it's been a while, but welcome back to the Wrestling13ean channel. I am your host Jose, and today we're going to be checking out AEW's Wednesday Night Dynamite for September 20th, 2023. Now let's go check out the show. Starting off this champion fight night, so rightfully named Grand Slam. We started the show with a title versus title match. Eddie Kingston with the New Japan World Strong Championship versus Claudio Castagnoli with the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship. And my gosh, this was beautiful. The crowd was electric, being that this was in New York, Eddie's home state. And it was just a great back and forth. The power demonstrated by Claudio to fight back against Kingston's strong striking style, and just how beautifully put, Eddie Kingston coming up on top, beating Claudio Castagnoli to retain his New Japan Strong title and earn and win the Ring of Honor World Championship, getting that handshake from Claudio at the end. And my gosh, beautiful match, beautiful. After a few promos, we're back with our second match of the night, our only non-championship match. Our teacher versus mentor, Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara. And back to back again, this was a glorious match. With all the time that Chris Jericho and Sammy have spent together, all the storyline ties, just Sammy and Chris Jericho using each other's moves here and there, and just the beautiful storytelling of how green and how fresh Sammy still is. Jericho was on top of it a lot of the time. He was hitting hard. A lot of the time, Sammy was just using his speed and agility to try and get one up over on Jericho. But after one too many high spots, Chris catches Sammy in a brutal code breaker in the end, getting him in the 1-2-3 pin. And again, my gosh, this was a beautiful match throughout. Kudos. After a few more story spots, we then come up to our third match of the night, our Intercontinental Championship match with champion Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix. And this one was odd to say the least. Just to say it, during the match, Jon Moxley suffered a concussion. I think it was beginning of the match, because throughout it was just wonky from the beginning. Moxley trying to find his footing, and just Fenix just trying to do his best to move along the match without hurting him anymore. But there was a spot where Fenix pulled a pile driver type move, and referee counted to 2, stopping at 3. Even though Moxley's shoulder was firmly on the mat, resulting to Fenix having to do it one more time, resulting in referee Knox counting to 3, and surprisingly, Moxley losing the Intercontinental Championship to Rey Fenix. Reports say that yes, Moxley was concussed during the match, but he is okay now. But still want to send my best wishes to Moxley and his family. Hope you heal well and everything turns out well for you in the future. Moving on. After a few more promos and setting up some matches for next week, we then come to our fourth match of the night, our women's quarter hour, AEW Women's Championship match with champion Saraya versus Toni Storm. Or should I say, former best friend Toni Storm. And after the last match, this was well needed. A great back and forth. Both competitors, of course, like I said, were former best friends, so they know each other's moves. They know exactly what everyone was gonna do. So it was just near fall after near fall, and great callback comedic spots to former wrestling history moments. And yeah, this was a great match. This was some good stuff. Again, some great stuff, well needed after the third match. So yeah, let's move on. After a quick rundown of the upcoming show's cards, we then come to our final match, our main event with big fight feel. Samoa Joe versus our champion, MJF. And following the theme of the show, which was pretty much David versus Goliath, you always had the smaller man versus the bigger man. This was a great back and forth with MJF attempting to choke out Samoa Joe, the bigger, stronger man who also is known for putting people to sleep. And you just had Samoa Joe just attacking MJF over and over again on his injured neck. And MJF just fighting through all the odds, kicking out at every turn. And then, after a few shenanigans, MJF gets one over on Samoa Joe, pulling out some rope behind the referee's back, or after the referee gets knocked out of the ring trying to dodge some scuffle between the two. Gets that rope around Samoa Joe's neck, surprisingly not killing the man, but choking him out and doing what he promised, submitting Samoa Joe, choking him out in the middle of the ring, and retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. And this was great. This was a great way to end the show. I'm always happy to see MJF on my screen, so there you have it. That's the end of Dynamite. Overall, Dynamite was a pretty great show today. That Moxley match in the middle of the show really did put a hinder on things, but overall, it's how you leave them, folks. So I'm gonna leave this with 3.5 stars. Not exactly a 4 show, but right on the cusp. And with that, that's gonna be the end of my show. I hope you enjoyed spending your time with me, and I'll see you all next week. Take it easy, everybody.